वैष्णव सर्वभौमा श्री जगन्नाथाय ते नमः। वंशकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्यैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे।
Oh,
Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. We welcome everyone for the 74th celebration, Vyasa-puja celebration of His Holiness Bhakti Vinayana Srila Guru Maharaj. We would like to now proceed to the program. We would like to invite His Grace Gopa Kumar Prabhu, the Temple President of Krishna-Balaram Melaka, for his to welcome Guru Maharaj and his further address.
Hare Krishna. It's so wonderful to see all of you here. Welcome to Melaka. After a very, very long time, with the mercy of Guru Maharaj, we had an opportunity now to raise upon all of you here. It is such a wonderful thing to have the just touch of Krishna-Balaram. So we welcome you and enjoy as the day unfolds. Right? Guru Maharaj, with his mercy, he has, I don't know why, he has chosen Melaka, and I hope we continue to have Melaka as a destination to have the Vyasa-puja from now on. Just going a bit forward, when we were starting to build this place, we were still in a very humble place, sanity house. And that time I was not an initiated devotee. So Maharaj came by and asked me to go and garland him. So what I did was, fool I was, I rushed to garland him. Maharaj, with a very stern voice, said, offer to Krishna first. That was my first instruction. So from then on, I had what we call Krishna as the center of my life. That is a very small instruction, but it was big for me. Couldn't move anything beyond that. So Maharaj became a big inspiration for me to build this place. Because this is how it all evolved. So don't take small things. Don't have to be great. Every time you need to put on the saffron and this. Every morning, Maharaj gave a very wonderful instruction. He said, you don't have to be portraying yourself to be devotee. Give everybody an opportunity. Okay? Like what you see over there, that is our vision. That vision says, we do from outside to in, because that's what Prabhupada taught us. He did not preach in India. He went to America to come back to India. So similarly, all of you must go, and this organization, what it does is, it goes to 21 temple schools, we organize sports. We get all the school children to come here and do exams, preparatory exams. We go into the prison to go and preach to the prisoners. So various kind of areas from outside we come in. So each one of you are talented in many areas. We should use our talent to the maximum, not confining to just temple puja and just, that's important. But what I'm saying, touch every human being inside there. bring them in, because what Prabhupada has done is, he is putting a lot of hope on us in this Kali Yuga to go and savage the human being and all the humanity outside there. So each one of you are like a star in the galaxy. If you don't light up others, then this Kali Yuga is going to be very tough for our brothers and sisters out there. So call upon all of you. This is very important. Make a commitment to yourself that you will go and touch every human being outside. Just don't focus on just temple. Yeah, temple is important, but go out there and distribute books, go and preach, get as many human beings as possible. I'm telling you, our Guru Maharaj is a great model. He doesn't talk so much. He teaches by example. That's why the tagline says, role model. He is a perfect role model. So that sparks me. Those things sparks me. So each of us have those things. Let's come together and make this place a brilliant place. Again, as what Prabhupada emphasized, we will be the sunshine of this earth. Thank you very much. Please have a pleasure to enjoy yourself further with this. I hope we will see again and again. Guru Maharaj, it's a great blessing. I hope, we will all get together globally here in Melaka one more time. And let's, be a role model for Guru Maharaj and go there and touch every human. Hare Krishna.
Prabhu now will invite Guru Maharaj to give a discourse.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Om Jnanatimarandasya Anandana Shalakaya
Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha.
Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhyayevata
Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
So I know for some of you are coming here for the first time, so maybe quite surprised to see this nice building here. Certainly very nice and quite spacious, very suitable for our Krishna conscious programs. And Gopkumar Prabhu, who spoke just now, he was one of the main forces behind this center. And he's the one who deals with all the government people. He has connections with different people. So it helps a lot. And then also Nagan Prabhu there, he's also involved. You know, it helps a lot to have the right people around, to work with the authorities. Everywhere, wherever you go, you know, there are authorities, there are governments, and these people are particular. You know, those of you from Singapore, you know what it's like in Singapore. You have to do everything according to the authorities. And the same here, in Melaka also, in Malaysia. It's not any different. It's not that there's no government, there's no authorities. No, there's a lot. There are authorities. And they're not all devotees also. This is a predominantly Mohammedan country. So you're dealing with a lot of Malays. And they're not always so appreciative of what we're trying to do. But they're tolerant. And it helps a lot when you have the right people to speak up for you. I know myself from my early days in Krishna consciousness, when we began the Krishna consciousness movement in the 1970s and 1960s, you know, we were all young. We were all very young. And that people didn't respect us at all. And we didn't have really anybody speaking up for us. Just Prabhupada would come by, and Prabhupada would come by and they would see, oh, he's ahead. Oh, he's the one taking all your money, is it? He's the one who comes, he takes all the money and goes back to India. They talk like that. So, in the past, we didn't have a lot of organization and we didn't have very prominent people supporting us. But gradually, over the years, you know, we're getting more and more recognition. The devotees also become a bit more mature. Devotees also got older, and some devotees also were more established in society. So that helps a lot when you have respectable people, leaders, people who are working in the society and who know the authorities and who can work with them. It makes a big difference to help establish the Krishna consciousness movement. We just recently had Rath Yatras. We had a couple of Rath Yatras here in Melaka. We had one on New Year's Day, and then we had another one on the eve of Chinese New Year. And so that was quite an achievement to get to allow us to go out there on the streets in Melaka on New Year's Day. There's a lot of tourists, a lot of people from foreign countries, but we were able to get permission. So all of these things require a lot of work. It's a lot of work maintaining a Krishna conscious temple. There's always opposition. Just like those devotees coming from KL, they know how difficult it is in Kuala Lumpur. That in the past, when we were originally there in Jalan Awan Jaya, when we were in our place in the beginning, in the 1980s, there were no houses nearby. We were pretty much alone there, and people didn't mind. But over the years, the empty lots became developed, and they put apartments and buildings there, and the residents came in, and the residents didn't like all the noise we made. They didn't like to hear the conch shell blowing. They didn't like to hear all the kirtan. And they especially didn't like the devotees parking our cars in their driveways. Naturally. Anyway, those are problems, and you have to deal with them. And situations change. Governments change. Government policies change. And you have to deal with these different issues. It's not an easy task to manage a Krishna conscious center. There's always a lot of things which need attention. I remember Krishna-Balaram Mandir in Vrindavan. The devotee was telling me, he said that his father handles all the legal cases for the Krishna-Balaram Mandir. And he said there's 45 legal cases pending in the court. 45 different cases going on all at once. You could imagine, you know, so many different issues. And so that's what's involved in running a Krishna conscious temple. You have to deal with the material as well as the spiritual. It's not that we can just simply sit and chant Hare Krishna and say, oh, Krishna will take care of it. No. Krishna, just like Krishna told Arjuna, you have to go and fight. Krishna didn't tell Arjuna, just sit back, it will all happen. No, Krishna told Arjuna, you have to go out there, you have to do battle. And so in the same way, we have to be practical in Krishna consciousness. We have to do everything which is required. We have to work with the authorities. We have to get along with them. We have to cultivate relationships with these important people. They do have power. And if you get the support of them, it's a great help. But if you upset them, then they can give you a lot of trouble. And they can close you down. When Prabhupada was going to meet Indira Gandhi, Prabhupada had a list of things he wanted to get Indira Gandhi to do for him. But unfortunately, it wasn't possible because at that time, Indira Gandhi was already in a state of stress. They had just assassinated the Bangladesh Prime Minister, and she was told that there was a threat on her life. So that she was too tense to be able to do anything which Prabhupada wanted. But Prabhupada at that time was concerned to get visas for the foreign devotees to stay in India to help him to develop the Krishna conscious movement. Nowadays, there's not many foreigners there in India, but there are a lot of Indian devotees, the local devotees. The devotees came from India. We got the local people. In Prabhupada's time, Prabhupada was bringing the foreigners into India to develop the preaching there. Just like in Malaysia, some foreign devotees came here to Malaysia and they helped to develop the preaching. Now, there's not too many foreigners staying here in Malaysia, but the local devotees themselves have taken up the management and the leadership of the society. So we need the local people. It's the local devotees who really are important for this Krishna consciousness movement. And we want to try to penetrate all walks of life, everywhere, to try to give Krishna consciousness. We know here in Malaysia you have 3 ethnic groups. You have the Chinese, as well as the Malay, and then of course the Indian population. So the Indian population is only like 8% of the population of the country. But the Chinese represent a much bigger proportion. There's something like 30 or more %. So we are trying to introduce Krishna consciousness among the Chinese people with some limited success, but we hope as it goes on that can increase. We do preach that Krishna consciousness is in the hearts of all living entities. It is just a question of allowing them to hear. We have to create the opportunity for people to hear about Krishna. So that is the business of our Krishna consciousness movement, making propaganda, going out among the people and distributing the message of Krishna. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told the Brahmana from Kurmakshetra, he told the Brahmana that he should not go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. The Brahmana was thinking, I will leave my home and I will go with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, I will travel with him around India. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chastised him and told him, no, not at all. Your duty is to stay here. And Vyari Deki Tari Kaho Krishna Upadesh. Amara Ga Guru Hana Para Etesh. Mahaprabhu's words are very important. He told the Brahmana, wherever you go, whoever you meet, you should tell them about Krishna. In this way you become also a spiritual master and save the land. The man was simply worried about his own self. He was thinking, if I stay, that I'm suffering so much in material life here. And he wanted to leave his family and go away with Mahaprabhu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu told him, no, not at all. That is not the process. The process is to stay in whatever position you're in. Stane stita shrutika tantan vanmanobir ye prayaso jita jitopi asitais trilokyam. This is the conclusion of Ramananda Roy's talk with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wanted to hear about devotional service from Ramananda Rai. And Ramananda Rai began by first of all saying, follow Varnashram, because by following Varnashram we please Lord Vishnu. But Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that is external. So then Ramananda Roy suggested Nishkarma Karma, that perform detached work, offer the results of our work for the Lord. But Mahaprabhu was not satisfied with that. So then he suggested Swadharma Tyag, to give up all your religious duties and simply surrender. But Mahaprabhu was still not satisfied. And then he suggested Mishra Karma, Bhakti Mishra Karma. Bhakti Karma Mishra. Karma Mishra. Bhakti Karma Mishra. Karma Mishra Bhakti. Thank you. Karma Mishra Bhakti. Which is devotional service mixed with desire for, actually Jnana Mishra Bhakti. It was Jnana Mishra Bhakti. It was devotional service mixed with speculative knowledge. Because Ramananda Rai had given the verse Brahma Bhuta Prasanatma Na Shochati Na Kanchati Samasarveshu Bhuteshu Mad Bhaktim Labate Param. So this verse is Jnana Mishra Bhakti, recognizing that the Lord is in all living entities. But this was not pure devotion yet. Mahaprabhu came to teach pure devotion. And so then Ramananda Rai gave the verse which I quoted, that one should remain in whatever position one is in and hear about Krishna in the association of devotees. This, by doing like this, then you can conquer Lord Krishna. Although Lord Krishna is Ajita, and it means he's unconquerable, he becomes conquered by the pure love of his devotees. So Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very happy to hear this, and he thought, yes, this is real devotion, to simply hear about Krishna, to stay in whatever situation, whatever position you're in, and just simply hear in the association of devotees. This is very important. And we see our Krishna consciousness movement is meant for this purpose, to arrange that atmosphere where all of us can have the opportunity to hear about Lord Krishna in the association of devotees. We don't have to change anything. Sometimes people are worried. Even we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was thinking to change his situation. Arjuna was thinking that he would not fight. Arjuna was thinking he would become a renunciate. But that was not what Lord Krishna wanted. So our principle is we should do what is pleasing to Krishna. And what is pleasing to Krishna is to surrender, to give up all of our material desires and simply surrender to the service of Krishna. That is what satisfies Krishna. When he sees that we are like his sold out animal. Prabhupada gives this example in the Nectar of Devotion. He says, devotee is just like the sold out animal. You go to the market, and if you purchase some animal in the market, then the animal will go with the person who's purchased it. The animal cannot protest. If you purchase a horse, the horse cannot say, no, I'm not going to go with that person, I don't like him, no. The horse has no independence. He's just going to be led. So similarly, in devotional service, we are like the sold-out animal in the service of Lord Krishna. We will do whatever is required for the service of Krishna. Just like Srila Prabhupada went to America, he showed us the example of being a sold-out animal. He went there to America and he did everything himself. He did the cooking, he did the cleaning. At the same time, he was going out for book distribution. He would go to the bookstores and he would show his books because he had brought the Bhagavatam, which he had printed in India. And before he would go to the bookstores, he would first of all cook some samosas. And he would cook some nice samosas and take them with him to the bookshop. And he would go to meet the people in the bookshop and he would give them a samosa. And the people in the bookshop told devotees, they remembered how he had come and he'd given them a samosa. And they were saying, so nice, very nice samosa, nice. He gave me this crispy fried dish. And so Prabhupada would do like this himself. He would do everything himself. When he lived in India, he was the one doing everything. He was the one writing. He would go to the printers and he would check the proofs and he would get the paper printed and then he would go and distribute the newspaper. And he would go and sit in the tea shop and wait for people to come. And when they came, he would go and sit with them. and try to get them to take a subscription from his back to Godhead. And Srila Prabhupada, in order to print Srimad Bhagavatam, he had to go and get people to donate money for the printing. And that was how he met Srimati Morariji, the owner of the Scindia Shipping Company. He had heard that she was a pious devotee of Krishna. So somehow he was able to get to Bombay and he got to meet her. And he convinced her to donate for the printing of 1 volume of the first canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam. And she donated for that. So that was how Prabhupada met her. And then later on he asked her about sending him to America. So Prabhupada did all the things which he's asking us to do. We have to follow the instructions of the spiritual teacher. It is said, Yashya deve para bhakti yata deve tata guru prasyaiti prakitahi artha prakashanti mahatmana. For those who have faith in both the order of Lord Krishna and the spiritual master, then all of the purports of the scriptures becomes revealed very easily. So this is an important verse. We have to understand, we have to have equal faith in both Krishna and Guru. We should understand the spiritual teacher to be the representative of Krishna. So we have faith. Whatever the spiritual teacher asks, we do it. Because we understand he's representative of Krishna. So Prabhupada was asked, he was told rather, by his own guru, if you ever get money, use it to print books. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati didn't worry very much about building big temples, because he saw when we had a big temple, devotees would fight about what room I should have and where I should live. And they would be thinking about their own comfort. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati did not like that. He wanted, he said, better I'd sold the marble and used the money from the marble to print books, rather than just having a nice temple. Of course, temple is still there. You can go and see that temple. It's in the Bara Bazaar in Calcutta, the Gaudiya Math temple. It's a very beautiful temple with beautiful marble, and it's still, it was built like 100 years ago or so, and it's in very nice condition. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he departed from the world at that temple in Bara Bazaar there in Calcutta. And however, Prabhupada points out, he said his Guru Maharaj was not so much impressed with big buildings. He liked to see books. So Srila Prabhupada emphasized book distribution. Of course, nowadays, things are a little different. One of the main differences is that people don't so much have hard copies, but there are things called soft copies. And you get the books, you can have soft copy. You can have all Prabhupada books in your mobile phone. And probably many of you already do. You keep the books in your phone. So book distribution, it goes on, but it's not quite the dynamic thing which it was in the past. That there are other media by which we can distribute transcendental knowledge. And of course we do that particularly with the internet and different mobile networks. And devotees are also quite active in these things. It's a very dynamic preaching field. You can be sitting in one place and you may never go anywhere, but you can contact people all over the world. You can find people interested in Krishna consciousness all over the world, just simply by being good on using the computer and going on the internet. You don't even need a computer these days. You can do everything with a mobile phone. So we have to recognize how things do change, and we have to be flexible, we have to be versatile. In the Nectar of Devotion again, Prabhupada describes how there are principles and there are details. So principle is, for example, one should be vegetarian. A detail would be what you're going to eat. Am I going to eat Chinese food, or will I eat Indian food, or will I eat Western style cooking? There's different things. So that is a detail. The principle is, however, vegetarian. That cannot be altered. So in the same way, principle is that we have to preach. Now, how you're going to preach Krishna consciousness, how you're going to tell people about Krishna, that is a detail. One way we can do it is by Sankirtan. And in Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's time, he used Sankirtan. Sankirtan was Mridanga and Kartals, and to go out into the public and chant the Hare Krishna mantra. So that was in the times of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. However, Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada, he coined the phrase Brihad Mridanga, which was to use the printing press to distribute the message of Lord Krishna everywhere. And Srila Prabhupada continued that with great emphasis on book distribution. And we did distribute a lot of books, and we're still distributing books. We are still distributing books. Recently we've printed books in languages where they never saw the Bhagavad Gita hardly before. For example, we have the Bhagavad Gita in Arabic, and they have the Bhagavad Gita in, of course we have Chinese. There are many different editions in Chinese of the Bhagavad Gita, but they're not as it is. So many speculative philosophers. So there are books in different languages. That's one field of preaching. But there is also the internet. You could call it the high-tech Mridanga, where we use the computer or use the mobile phone, and in this way we try to distribute the message of Krishna to as many. But we do find in the last few years, for example, we've been teaching Mayapur Institute courses online, and we do find that it's much better, that the receptivity of the students is much better when you have them personally present. I know a number of you are also teachers. Some are still teaching, some are retired, some of you are lecturing in universities, and often you have to do it online. So online teaching is not as effective as actually being directly in front of the students. And similarly, particularly in preaching Krishna consciousness, to get people directly in your presence is much better and much more powerful. Srila Prabhupada was asked himself, please take care of the children. And Srila Prabhupada was asked himself, what's better? what's better, to sit and read, or to sit and read ourselves, or to have somebody directly preaching to you? And Prabhupada said, better somebody is there directly. And they said, why? Prabhupada said, because he will pull your ear. You know, when you're on the internet, you know, you can't do that. You can't get somebody, you can't tell who is being attentive and how much is being heard. But when they're in your physical presence, then you can impress the message much more powerfully onto them. So we do give a lot of importance to get people to come into our presence. And we have different methods for that. Because we know not everyone will come to temples, so we have house programs, we have Bhakti Briksha programs. Sometimes we have Namhata centers, which are something like a temple. But Bhakti Briksha programs are especially good because in the relaxed atmosphere of a home, people can come together and hear about Krishna consciousness. So we do encourage devotees to utilize their versatility and try to think what will be the best way in which we can introduce Krishna consciousness, to find out who is actually interested, who is going to be receptive to this message of Krishna. Definitely, devotees are there. We just have to find them. Prabhupada said you can go outside in the park, take a madanga with you and a pair of kartals, and even if you're alone, you just take the madanga with you and the kartal. If you play the kartals and chant, somebody will come along and they'll pick up the drum and start playing madanga for you. And this way the kirtan party will grow. You have to be a little bold. Prabhupada did that. He went out into the streets of New York. He went in the park. In this one Tompkins Square Park there in New York, Prabhupada went there. He chanted there. And people came. They joined him in the kirtan. So we have to be willing to be a little flexible. And also we have to really surrender. As we were talking this morning about how to get the mercy of Krishna. So mercy is a rare thing, but if we're sincere, if we're doing everything we can, then Krishna can make arrangements. Krishna can send many people. Whatever we need, Krishna is ready to provide according to our ability. Prabhupada said, Prabhupada said, Krishna can give you the whole world. Are you ready? Are you ready to have to take charge of the whole world? Krishna can give, just like he gave the Pandavas the whole world in 18 days. So are you ready to take part in Krishna's 18-day plan? He can give you the world. But, are we ready? We have to become ready. So, yes, we have to become more Krishna conscious. We have to become more surrendered. It's an ongoing business. There's no finish. We can never say, oh, now I'm there. Now I've already done it. I'm up. I'm there. I don't have to go any further. There's always more. It's always further. There's more and more goals to go on. We have to understand the nature of Krishna consciousness, how it is unlimited. There's so much to be done. There's so many books to read. There's so many mantras to chant. So many different services to do. But don't become frustrated. Some people may think, oh, it's too much. I'm just going to give up. I won't do anything. No, we want to keep up our spirits, be enthusiastic, and go on. And gradually, we're seeing how Krishna consciousness is developing. just like here in Malaysia. So in the recent years, of course, we opened a nice temple up in Butterworth, very beautiful, big temple, nice complex, and we have also, there's a big hall there for functions. There's also many seminar rooms, so we're hoping we'll have more programs there at our temple at Todu, the Temple of Devotion, of Understanding. It's such a wonderful complex. We need to use it more and more. We should have nice programs going on regularly. I was seeing Bhaktivedanta Manor in London. In the recent years, they built extensions to the Bhaktivedanta Manor. They built, what's it called, Gujarati word? What's the word for the halls?
Haveli.
Havelis, yeah. They built a couple of Havelis. So they're like function halls. Like if you go to Juhu, they have these different rooms where they have functions, usually marriages and other things like that. So they have these Havelis at Bhaktivedanta Manor, and every weekend they have so many different courses going on. So many different programs and different speakers, big variety of different programs, just to get people, to get them coming to the temple, coming to the manor, and being there in the manor, and letting them know more about what's going on at Bhaktivedanta Manor. And so we have to also be thinking like that, arranging more and more courses, having different seminars, bringing people, having classes in so many different languages, and so very important for us. Of course, now we have the disciple course, and then we have Bhakti Shastri course, and Bhakti Vaibhav is there. These are quite demanding for people, not very easy things. It takes a lot of time, a lot of work to go through Bhakti Vaibhav. There is quite a lot of effort required. But there are other courses also. For example, our devotees in China, they've organized some interesting things. One of the things which they began was they call Lauren Dashia. It means Old People's University. because there's quite a few older ladies there who are devotees. And so it's difficult for them to take up the courses. So they have a special course for them. And they call it Old People's University. And it's appreciated, you know, they take the subject matter and they take it slowly and they explain everything carefully. And people are finding it valuable, useful for them. And they also have courses on the acharyas. That's also something nice to do, to hear about the different acharyas and their contributions to the Lord Chaitanya's movement. There's no limit. There's so many things we can do for the service of Krishna. We just have to utilize our intelligence and think, what can I do for Krishna? What can I contribute? There's so many things to be done. There are places to go where there are no devotees. You can go there and preach. I was staying in India during the lockdown, and I had the opportunity to go and visit some cities in India like Hyderabad and Bangalore and Delhi, and I saw how they have so many centers. They're not officially temples, but they have things called base, which is base at Bhaktivedanta Academy. Yeah, something like this. So they have students staying together, and the devotees will come there and give them classes regularly. They get the students to stay together. They arrange somebody to cook also for them, so they can get vegetarian meals. Because we often find people, they're living outside, they're not able to get vegetarian food. And we know here in this country that there's a lot of non-vegetarian food, and people even eat things like beef. So you don't want to be eating outside. You want to make sure you can get prasadam. And so you get the devotees to live together, and they can organize nice programs like that. They can rent a house, and you can arrange for somebody to get cooks to come, and in this way. Or even they can organize the cooking themselves. So this is very popular. And people, they may not be students, they may be men working in the job, they can also stay there. And they all they contribute to the expenses, of course. They're living together, so they share the rent, they share the cost of the cooking. But it's not a profit-making thing, it's just to cover the expenses. But it's very nice that people can then follow strictly. They can live together, they can wake up early in the morning, they can sit and chant together in the morning, do some puja in the morning, and then go off to their studies or go to work. So there are many of these centers around the country, and the devotees are also very active in cultivating more and more students, because student life doesn't last very long. Student life is like 3 years or 4 years, and it's over with, and they're gone. So you have to always be looking for the new students. Who are the new students? You have to go there, make programs in the colleges, or if not in the college, you may not be allowed in the college. You have to arrange for programs outside and somehow attract the people to come and get people interested. If you have programs, then people will come. You'll find some people will start to come. But if there are no programs, of course, it's unlikely anybody's going to come. You have to be willing to do something. You have to go out there and make some activity, make some propaganda. And in this way, we will find out some new friends, people who have some interest in Krishna consciousness. So there's so much to be done. We don't have time to sit back and think, oh, everything's done. It's all taken care of. Jayapataka Swami's done everything. No, the basis is there, but we have to go on. Jayapataka Maharaj put the base there, now we have to develop it. And so many more things to be done. New devotees to be made. Every year we lose devotees. Every year devotees leave the body. We read about this devotee left the body, that so the devotees are reducing. We have to bring in new devotees to make up for the devotees leaving. So we have to always be thinking how to bring people into Krishna consciousness. So we should be thinking how to distribute, how to give one of Prabhupada's books, or how to give some prasadam, give some people some nice prasadam. One of the devotees in Shanghai was working in the job, and his wife would make a nice box of prasadam for him to take to office every day. All of the friends in the office, they all saw the prasadam, they said, wow, this looks so nice. They were all appreciating how he was eating so much nicer food than they were getting, because they were going to what they call their canteen or some fast food shop, but he was bringing from home some prasadam. So that's true. In many places you'll find there's many people in that kind of situation. They want to actually have a nice diet, vegetarian diet. They want association. They're actually eager for it. We just have to try to reach out to them and try to provide for them. So this is devotee. Devotees thinking about giving Krishna consciousness. And the more we think about giving Krishna to others, then the more we will make advancement. But if we just simply think about ourselves, then that will not be very good. So, are there any questions? In this matter?
No questions.
Okay. So, we go on to the next program.
Guru Maharaj, thank you very much, Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj has given us so many examples and practical ways for us to reach out and preach. So we would like to reflect on the advices and we sincerely endeavor to follow them. So with that, we'll move on to the next segment. We have a couple of special guests coming here from very far. We would like to first start off with His Grace Padmanayan Prabhu, who has traveled from Mayapur, India. Prabhu is, everybody knows Prabhu. He is the head of Mayapur Institute of Higher Education. Prabhu has gracefully agreed to come and grace this event. We would like to hear a few words from Prabhu.
Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Namo Krishna-Balaram, Krishna-Krishna Bhutale, Srimate Swami Bhakti-Vinaya Vinasana Vidyanam, Vacha Kalpataru Yastasika Sindhubhe Vacha, Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo. It's our good fortune that we have amongst us our Gurudev. Since Maharaj has been very kind to stay with us in Mayapur, and Maharaj is very close to us because he lives in Mayapur Institute. I have personally observed Maharaj how he has been conducting himself as an ideal Vaishnava Guru in our organization. When I see Maharaj, it reminds me about a verse in Srimad Bhagavatam, in 3rd canto, many of you must be knowing. Titik savo karunika suhida sarvadehinam ajata sattava santa sadhava sadhubhushan. The good qualities of a sadhu, Vaishnava, is very nicely mentioned in this verse. So first quality it speaks about titiksa, tolerance. I have seen how Maharaj is very tolerant. He never shows any agitation. On two examples I can show you, I can share with you. Of course, you are Maharaj disciples, you have your experience. But what I have seen personally, I feel like this is a good opportunity that I should share with all of you. When Maharaj was staying in Mayapur Institute last time, I'm sure last summer, sometimes it gets really very hot in Mayapur. And Maharaj is not worried about whether it is cold, it is hot. So some devotees, my disciples, were living in Mayapur. So they felt like we should bring one fan for Maharaj. In Mayapur Institute, we don't have any air condition actually. We live very simple. So Maharaj was living there, and one of Gloria's disciples brought one fan. And one day I went to Maharaj's room. It was very hot. And Maharaj was on the fan. I said, Maharaj, you should use it. No, I'm fine. No, I'm okay. I'm okay. And whenever I need, I just use this hand fan. I mean, you see, from such a simple way, he doesn't have any demand that he is pushed by the desires, the ideas of the senses. He doesn't feel that. And that day, he lives in his room. One devotee brings prasad from Maharaj. He would never say that he bring prasad on this time or do this. One day I came to know, I went to kitchen afterwards, I found out, after 3 o'clock, Maharaj, he went to kitchen, he just wanted to do something. Later I found out that the devotee forgot. And you see, he doesn't tell anyone. He tolerates. Titiksa. And if you see his mercy, Maharaj is very merciful. He lives in our campus. He has seen how hard we are struggling. He will call me sometimes to his room. Devotees give him little dakshina. Maharaj gives. He said, Padmanabh, take it from Prabhupada. He taught us, man. I can glorify Maharaj. How much I say, still it remains insufficient. Really, he is a person of mercy. Some devotees came to study in our institute, and the words of a pure Vaishnava touches the heart of the devotees. Like our Gopma was saying, I have personally met some devotees who studied in Mayapur Institute, because Maharaj, he teaches, he loves teaching. Every year, even right now Maharaj is traveling, and we asked Maharaj, can you teach in Bhakti-Vedanta? He said, yes, I will do it. In spite of his busy schedule, he always takes this as an opportunity to touch devotee's heart. There was an old man who was a high-grade officer in India government. His daughter was actually serving in Mayapur Institute. She also still does some service. And I'm very close to that whole family. In fact, that gentleman, he is no more. He actually personally spoke to me. He used to visit Mayapur. He has now listened to many sannyasis who they visit during Gorpanim time. So one time, at that time he was not initiated. He came to Mayapur. He was staying in Mayapur. And he just once listened to Maharaj. And after that, he was so inspired. He said, Padmanabh, I want to take initiation from you. I said, yes, you should go ahead. Old man, very highly educated person. And the devotee came from Nepal. Just by attending Maharaj's class, he got so much inspired. See, there is a saying, a sadhu can be judged through the ear. Just by hearing, you can see how much he is able to impact on us. What kind of difference he is able to bring in our personal life. Of course, we can go on speaking about Maharaj for many, many hours. I know you have many other devotees to speak, but at least one more thing I want to also tell you, you should know about this. For Maharaj, there is no one who feels like, he is mine. For example, he is a guru, he gives initiation to the disciples. Maharaj never considers his disciple as his property. I mean to say, I'm not saying that other ISKCON gurus, they feel like it, but there's a particular way how Maharaj deals with the devotees, the disciples, how he instructs them. He always says that they are the property of the organization. And he always inspires devotees according to their capacity, how they can be an instrument in Prabhupada's program. Whenever he is there in Mayapur, some devotee, they will say, Maharaj, please come with us to walk by from. Whether 2 devotees, 10 devotees, does not matter. So simple. His heart is always there. He is in the mood of giving. He is always ready to give Krishna to anyone he meets. He expects for book distribution, and also he is kind of goes on parikram. Whenever he is in parikram, there will be so many sannyasis. You see, by seeing his simplicity and his way of recognizing the devotee's potential, Mayapur management automatically hands over Maharaj to become the MC. And he will choose, okay, now Maharaj should speak, now this Maharaj should speak. Exactly how to behave in a Vaishnava festival. I mean to say, he is a walking monk who speaks less, but his actions are very, very instructive. I believe on this auspicious day, we all pray to Maharaj, especially I personally beg Maharaj to bless me so that I can also continue serving Prabhupada for the rest of my life. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Thank you, His Bhagavan. It's very heartfelt sharing from Prabhu. So we thank Prabhu for, and we hope that with the inspiration from all the sharing that Prabhu has just given us, we would like to welcome now His Grace Siva Chaitanya Prabhu, from the temple president of Todu Temple from Century ISKCON Subramjaya. Welcome, Prabhu.
Namo Vishnu-padaya Krishna-Balaram Swami National Swami Anchakalpada Vishakapasi Deveshavadithan Bhav Vishnu. So I'm very fortunate to have physically present Maharaj Vyasa-puja Mahotsav 74 years. Actually, Maharaj very inspired all of Malaysian Yatra, especially for us in Brahmachari. First, I met Maharaj during 90s. First time distributing books, and Maharaj became one stall, eating stall. Actually, Maharaj is so humble, as Prabhupada was mentioning. Maharaj is so humble so that he doesn't see anything. So I'm first time meeting like Prabhupada disciples who are down to earth. Maharaj was distributing the eating stall, Chinese eating stall. So as I was inspired, so we also distributed together with Maharaj. As Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita, Yadya Rachasti starts, Tatta eva taro janaha seya paramanam kurte lokasya nivartante. So Maharaj is so exemplary, so that whatever the great men perform, the common man will follow. And I see Maharaj like a walk and talk. So when Maharaj, I see in the temple, sometimes we always, we are seeing like small things. Maharaj very particular, like one rubbish is there, so you immediately pick up in the temple hall. So and also very down to earth. Once I remember, there are short times, so I can just make it a point. Once we were distributing books in Taibusam. Every year we do in Bhakti Cave. So that time Maharaj joined in Bhakti Cave, book distribution. So we will be sleeping in the van, So we also, Maharaj also joined us and distributed books, And also, we want to make arrangement for Maharaj to stay in the hotel because the brahmacharis will stay in the van, we sleep in the van and we bathe in the public toilet. So we told Maharaj, we make arrangement for you to the hotel, nearby hotel, no? This is national, nearby. So Maharaj said, no, we'll sleep in the So Maharaj, like, down to earth, he doesn't care, he just wants to focus. It's like Padmanabha was mentioning, he's like a Prabhupada man. It's always service comes first, comfortable later. So this is inspiration we get all these devotees in Malaysia, especially the brahmachari who travel with Maharaj. And what I remember, once in a sermon program, so after the sermon program, Maharaj was supposed to go to JP. So that time, so Maharaj, they make arrangement like Maharaj for the, I think, bus or something, some public transport. So we are driving the van. Of course, van won't be comfortable for Maharaj to travel. So then Maharaj preferred to travel with the devotees rather than going alone. So he wanted association of the devotee all the time. So this is the inspirations where we can learn from Maharaj, and very fortunate to have Maharaj association. So we pray to Krishna Kanaya to have a good health for Maharaj to forever. Stay longer with us and give a more association. Yeah. So, Holiness, Bhakti Narasimha Swami Maharaj, Vyasa-puja Varsava ki.
Hare Krishna. Right now, what I'm going to do is, there are people here that were working in the background, right? A lot of them have been working like 3 weeks to make sure that we get to the stage where we are. So I can call forward Padman Prabhu. Padman Prabhu, he was the man responsible for setting the infrastructure to make sure the bandwidth is there, communicating 3 weeks and going back and forth, international students. Those people in all over the world. So, Padman Prabhu, come forward. Thank you so much. Another personality who has been with us for a long time. I met this person back in KL. He was telling how his aspiration was. He wanted to make sure that he goes very deep among the Chinese. And he had this idea of getting the global people. I said, that's so easy to do. We have already done the job. So we used Krishna-Balaram and we gathered 11 countries here, all gathered here. Chinese, only Chinese people. Okay. And we have done that for 2 years. And the man responsible for this is T.K. Brody. All to do
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Actually, I'm not qualified to speak. So today is Maharaj Vyasa-puja, His Holiness Bhakti Narasimha Swami, and I can see people are here all over Malaysia and some from overseas. And I know Maharaj from coming 30 years. I think most of the speaker has spoken. I want to quote a bit that Maharaj is very, very humble and very compassionate. So personified. And he can touch every devotee. He never differentiate, singing, whether people he will take care, ask him how we are breathing. So it's a really very leader by exemplifying. So all of us should follow his footsteps, and Malaysia is growing now. As Maharaj said, we have a lot of opportunity. I would like to mention some why I say Maharaj very humble and compassionate. One time was in China preaching, so in the northern state, very far. Anyhow, by Krishna mercy, Maharaj also in that city. So he told me, I will come. I said, Maharaj, you come and give class. So Maharaj said, no, you give class. I said, cannot, because China are quite new. Maharaj has been preaching there for many years. So anyhow, Maharaj came, and he came, Maharaj, very humble. And I told, no, you give class. He said, no, you give class. So Maharaj, really, all the devotees have been mentioned, and we should learn from him. And I can say, he's giving the holy name everywhere. And wherever he goes, because of sadhu or pure devotees, the place totally different, manifest difference. So today, I would like to beg all of you assembled here, give me the mercy, and Maharaj here especially, and bless me so I can walk a little bit better. So I will follow Maharaj's footsteps to preach the holy name. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
A lot of Chinese body, and we have a lot of talents. But what inspires me is this Chinese lady. Okay, she has taken a great step forward to write a book of sadhana. Right? Can I get Mr. I to come forward? So I'm personally requesting. There's a lot of talent about you. Some of you are very good in daily worship. Write a book on daily worship. Some of you are good in kirtan. Compile the kirtan together and come out with something. So every one of you have talents. Let's bloom it up. Rock the world.
Krishna. Maharaj, this is a Maharaj Jesus, according to the Balaram. I'd be surprised calling me up. I just want to introduce my book about this book. I write about this book. I want to share my passion. I like to do cooking when I become vegetarian, because I need to cook for my family. So I need to put my heart to cook for my family so that my family all become vegetarian. So after 30 years, I have this book. So today, because of Vyasa-puja, Guru Maharaj, so I would like, if you can support this book, today's contribution will go to Vyasa-puja. So hopefully you can support this book. And you can give to others, or not to share about vegetarian, not only for yourself, for others as well. Hare Krishna.
Now I shall call upon Darshan Prabhu, who has been working with us like 3 weeks. He's trying to put all the Malaysian group together, and he's working at the background, right? Working like almost like a hand, running here, running there, calling here, calling there, making sure that the infrastructure is in place. Russia.
Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Srimati Bhakti Narasimha Namo Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravana Charity. This station is only first So Hare Krishna, this is a very, very, very historic Vyasa-puja. Do you all agree?
Yes.
I shouldn't be talking because I always get emotional. So anyway, I'm just so happy that this happened. I can't talk. I get someone else to talk. So anyway, I'm so happy this happened. It's a dream come true for many of the disciples. So we hope that all of you are happy. That can please all of you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna.
Thank you to all the contributing Prabhus. So that was a short appreciation segment. We will now move on to the regional offering by about 6 disciples here. Each of them are given 2 minutes, so try to keep up to the time. Please come forward. The moment I call up your names, you come forward here. You can give your regional offering. So it will go in this sequence, yeah. Number 1, Dwarakadish Prabhu from North. Number 2, Yashoda Nandan Mataji from SGMKL. Kamalakshi Mataji from Johor. This is Southern, so North, Central, South. Now we move to the foreign disciples. Yuwati Mataji from Russia. Yuwati Sakshi Mataji. To go in this sequence, Dwarakadish Prabhu, Yashoda Nandan Mataji, Kamalakshi Mataji. After that, from Russia, Yuwati Mataji. From Hong Kong, Yogita Radha Mataji. Finally, from Singapore, Raja Hari Prabhu.
Namo Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Pasute Jasatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gauravakta Hare Krishna 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 Hare Rama Rama Hare. Dear Guru Maharaj, Hare Krishna, please accept our humble obeisances to your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. Guru Maharaj, Sita Sundari Devi Dasi, myself, and all my God brothers, God sisters in the north are very fortunate to become your disciples in this lifetime and able to continue our unalloyed devotional services to your lotus feet. Though many of us are in ISKCON for about 30 over years, meeting so many devotees, Swamijis, when we meet Your Holiness, we decided to become your humble servant for the rest of our lifetime. Your Holiness' vivid explanation to the purpose of human life and the dangers a soul is facing and going through in samsara cycle have given us some serious thoughts of absorbing Krishna consciousness in our life. Guru Maharaj, your simplicity and high thinking with strong faith in Srila Prabhupada and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission will definitely inspire many souls into this Krishna consciousness movement. In the past 20 years, myself and Sita Sundari Devi Dasi, as being your disciples, we both learned several lessons from Your Holiness, how a Grahastha has to be consistently practice spirituality and balance with material life. Your Holiness have set precedents to all your disciples how to be humble, cooperate, and respect with each other, and also to all living beings while practicing devotional life. Guru Maharaj, I have offended Your Holiness in many instances in the past, and yet You are very merciful to us and concerned to all of us, and are always asking devotees' well-being and strongly advising us not to leave ISKCON movement. Guru Maharaj, You have performed lectures on Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam with classic examples giving us the full conviction and strong faith in devotional life. Guru Maharaj, Your Holiness, traveling all over Asia Pacific region to preach Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission and Srila Prabhupada's vision, Your Holiness fully invested all your energies and time in preaching Krishna consciousness. We strongly feel all ISKCON devotees do the same. It is mentioned in the scriptures, some or other a soul will definitely obtain a body in the evolution of samsara cycle. After so much hardships, when the soul comes into human platform, it does not get connected into Krishna consciousness. It is merely a waste of life, of opportunity, thus ending up with suffering again and again in life. It is the soul's previous karma and past relationship in serving a sadhu that connection connects to a spiritual master in this life, and we are all very blessed to obtain Your Holiness mercy as our spiritual father. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj. Your humble servant, Dwar British Dasa, Sita Sri Dasi, and also on behalf of all your disciples in North Malaysia. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj.
Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vikram Vinashi Narasimha Iti Namini. Namo Vishnupadaya, Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Vicharini, Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pastekya Deshatarini. Dear Guru Maharaj, please accept our humble and respectful obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to you, especially today, 26th of January 2023, on this auspicious celebration of your 74th Sri Vyasa-puja, the appearance day of our beloved Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj, we thank you from our hearts for allowing us to glorify you. You manifest humbleness and austerities in your daily activities. We thank you for guiding us in the practice of Bhakti Yoga, your continuous advice and lectures all over the world about the importance of rising early, maintaining a good sadhana, and the importance of chanting the holy name without committing any offences. Guru Maharaj, we humbly seek your mercy and benediction to chant the holy name of the Lord very discreetly and distinctively every day, without fail, and to develop more and more attachment towards the holy name of Lord Sri Krishna without committing any offences. Broad-mindedness, tolerance, humility, humbleness, not expecting any respect for yourself, but offering all respects to others. Guru Maharaj, you are very well known for these qualities and more, and we sincerely beg your mercy to at least invite a fraction of these qualities from you in order to make nice spiritual advancement. Guru Maharaj, please place your lotus feet on our heads, so that we are sheltered from Maya in this material world at this age of Kali. Please bestow your mercy upon your fallen and insignificant disciples. If ever we fall behind in our service, please do not take away the service, but push us to serve more. Please help us to advance in spiritual life so that we receive the benediction of Krishna. Help us to get strength to make advancement on this path back home, back to Lord. You have always shared your learned advice and guidance to all devotees in Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur, and have given a great impact to all of us, right from the level of senior management devotees, temple management council, and other congregation devotees in a very friendly manner, and being very concerned about everyone's well-being, although many of them may not be your disciples. We thank you very much, Guruji, for having taken the trouble to visit us here in Malaysia at least 3 times in a year, and we also made sure previously that you had conducted seminars and courses on the nectar of devotion Next of instructions, Guru and Disciple courses at Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur, besides the other ongoing online courses, which is being heard worldwide. And this is actually in order for us to benefit from these Shastric studies and make us realize that the ultimate mode of approaching the Lord and His devotees and our day-to-day lifestyle should be in line with the 6 Goswamis of the Garden, as you very often sing and narrate the meaning of the Sat Goswami Ashtanam written by Srivas-acharya. In addition, we noted that another pertinent instruction that you had given during the initiation ceremony at Todu in September 2016 was, you wanted all your disciples to always treat, respect and render service unto all other spiritual masters in the same manner as we would do towards you, and we do hope to follow these instructions and do our level best. On this most auspicious occasion of Vyasa-puja of Guru Maharaj, we beg for your continued mercy and benediction so that we may remain a good disciple and keep to the initiation vows. We also beg for your mercy to bless everyone so that we can all become useful, so that all of us can become a useful instrument in the mission of Srila Prabhupada. At the same time, kindly forgive us for any offenses committed knowingly and unknowingly throughout these years. We take this opportunity to plead for the mercy of our beloved deities at Sri Jagannath Mandir, Kuala Lumpur, Sri Jagannath Baldev Subhadra, Sri Nitai Sundar Gaurahari, and Sri Radha Gokulananda to bless Guru Maharaj, so that Guru Maharaj will continue to preach and expand the mission of our beloved of your beloved spiritual master and spiritual father, His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. All of us pray for your continued mercy and benediction, so that we can all always be spiritually enthused, with full of enthusiasm and zeal, to continue serving Srila Prabhupada and remain in the mission of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Thank you very much, Guru Maharaj.
The South region of this Kamalakshiva. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Dear Guru Maharaj, how can we begin thank you for all that Guru Maharaj had done for us? Just as how a spark of fire could ignite thousands of lamps in a dark room, Gurudev, your Holiness's bright presence immediately turn our sorrow into joy. Every single time we will always be indebted to you, Guru Maharaj. These past few months were beyond wonderful, Guru Maharaj, to be immersed in the service of Guru Maharaj with our God family. We couldn't have been in a better place. For most of us, this trip allowed us to derive a little more personal connection with you, Guru Maharaj. We had the blessed opportunity to speak to Guru Maharaj, to listen to Guru Maharaj, and to see Guru Maharaj. And just like children, as Guru Maharaj would enter Guru Maharaj's room, we would be trading stories of the day. Oh, Guru Maharaj had chastised me today. Guru Maharaj said something funny today. Guru Maharaj said something important to me today. Or even just Guru Maharaj had smiled at me today. Or Guru Maharaj didn't look at me today. Is Guru Maharaj angry with me? There was one feeling we all shared. Seeing how dedicated Guru Maharaj towards spreading Krishna's glories through Srila Prabhupada's ISKCON. The love Guru Maharaj had towards their Lordship and towards Srila Prabhupada, no bounds. We were laughing and jumping up and down when we witnessed Guru Maharaj's pure ecstasy during Harinam Sankirtan Nirodhyatra. We were addicted to the pastimes of the Lordships during lecture. Acknowledging this made us love and appreciate our dear Srila Prabhupada more and really understand the meaning of surrendering to Sri Sri Radha Krishna. Guru Maharaj, thank you for never forgetting us and always pulling us back to serve Srila Prabhupada's movement. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for continuously training us
through various methods on how to serve Ishwan better. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for visiting us again after such a long time. We pray and pray that there will be many more memories like this to be made a long time. Guru Maharaj, please allow us to serve you eternally, Guru Maharaj. Please allow us to always be under shelter of your lotus feet, Guru Maharaj. Please never let us go, Guru Maharaj. Aspiring to be dust in your lotus feet, Sudharma Das, Mamachi Devi Das, seeds and your children from Johor, Guru Maharaj.
Thank you, Mataji. Next from Russia, and Grace Diwati Sakshi, Mataji.
Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances from Krishna Balaram. Gurudev, I really don't know what to say. Yes, I'm so happy to see you. That's enough for me. And so, and the greatest happiness for me is to see that my Guru Maharaj is satisfied. And I love people who love my Guru Maharaj, so it's so nice for me to be here in Melaka with my good brothers and sisters. Guru Maharaj, please ask Krishna to give us the opportunity to distribute Krishna consciousness and to take part in the mission of Lord Chaitanya. We can do it only by the mission of the day. So, Guru Maharaj, please take care. And the devotees from my group, they are begging me to see you. Gurudev, please come back to my food. We are missing so much. Guru Maharaj. Thank you very much, my dear Gurudev.
Thank you, Mataji. Please stay Guru Maharaj for a few more days. We have the Grace Yogita Radha Mataji all the way from Hong Kong.
Thank you so very much. Over the past couple of years, whenever you come to Hong Kong, they usually goes for home distribution, and at least as far as my experience is concerned, and quite a few of us, Gurudev is the most senior Maharaj who goes for book distribution to encourage everybody in Hong Kong, the crowd, local people. And Guru Maharaj also comes for the book fair, book distribution that takes place. Guru Maharaj is the only one, again, I've seen the senior most Maharaj goes there. So again, it's very encouraging for all of us to proceed further and make sure that we must be there as well. And glories of the Lord uncountable. Every time Gurudev is in Hong Kong, every single day, Gurudev has to give the Srila and he glorifies the Lordship service beautifully. He encourages us so nicely. His talks really touch the heart. Gurudev says so nicely, it's not what you serve with, it is your service that really counts. The attitude of service is what really counts. And then also I would like to thank for me personally, along with the other devotees and disciples. Gurudev has mercifully given a Nari body, a female's body, second initiation, and connected us to the Lord by allowing us to directly serve the lotus feet of the Lordship. It's really a very big thing. Because it's beyond our imagination. Being in a woman's body, be at the altar and serve the Lord's feet of their Lordship. It's really beyond our imagination today. Thank you so very, very much, really. Thank you very much. We're always looking forward, waiting for you, for China to lift up, and then Noble Poet. So please, you can come to Hong Kong as well. So we're waiting for that birthday. Again, thank you so very much.
Thank you, the last person to go, regional operator from Singapore, His Grace Raja Hari Daswari.
Namo Vyasa-puja Krishna-Balaram Dear Maharaj, these success and our successes, all powers of Krishna-Balaram, all powers of Sri and Gauranga. All glories to you on this auspicious day of your Vyasa-puja. I'd like to express my gratefulness to your guidance, for your guidance and direction in my spiritual life. It has been more than 2 decades since I first met you. Since then, you have always inspired all of us with your personal character as well as your simple instructions. You preach and follow the teachings of Srila Prabhupada very sincerely, and this is impacting the lives of many devotees. Listening to your lectures enables us to properly understand the mission of Srila Prabhupada in a simple and clear manner. I was reading the following statements from the purport of Bhagavad Gita 3:29, and it reminds me of you. But the devotees of the Lord are more kind than the Lord because they understand the purpose of the Lord. Consequently, they undertake all kinds of risks, even to the point of approaching ignorant men to try to engage them in the act of Krishna consciousness, which are absolute necessity for the human being. Guru Maharaj, you are a living example of this. You have completely understood the mission of Lord Krishna and your spiritual master Srila Prabhupada. As a result, you are voluntarily taking all kinds of risks simply to preach Krishna consciousness for the welfare and benefit of all humanity without any discrimination. Without your selfless kindness, we would have definitely been lost without any direction in life. Please give me your mercy so that I will remain in the association of devotees and continue the process of devotional service under all circumstances. I would like to end this offering by remembering another verse from Srimad Bhagavatam 3:20. Prasangam Ajaram Aksham Atmana Kavayo Viduhu Sa Eva Sadhu Shreto Moksha Dwara Apavatam. Every learned man knows very well that attachment for the material is the greatest entanglement of the spirit soul. But that same attachment, when applied to the self-realized devotees, opens the door of liberation. Guru Maharaj, I beg I could constantly meditate on the purport of this verse, transfer all my attachments only onto your lotus feet, and thus always engage in the service of Lord Krishna and his devotees. Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Please forgive us if all our offenses.
Thank you for all the regional offerings. We will now move on to personal homages. So I will read out the names. So please be prepared. So you can come forward. First, we will go with Prasanna Gaurangi Mataji from Singapore, followed by Savitri Mataji from Todu. Next, Ramananda Rai Prabhu and Sachi Dulal Prabhu from Singapore, Narayan Prabhu from Klang, Sandini Mataji from Melaka, Rasaraj Prabhu from Melaka, Ramatulasi Prabhu from Senai, Surya Nandini Mataji from KL, Sridevi Gaurangi Mataji from Klang. So in this sequence, so first we call upon Prasanna Gaurangi Mataji from Singapore.
Om Gyanam Tasya Gyanam Chalashadakaya Chakshurmukhitam Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Krishnaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vinayas Narasimha Swami Maharaj Tidamini. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhaktivedanta Swami Tidamini. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharani. Dear Visheshwara Sunyavantam Kasturi. Dearest Gurudev, I'm so fortunate to be here with you today and with all my god brothers and god sisters at your Vyasa-puja, and even more fortunate to be sharing my offering in your presence. As we constantly distribute books and preach to colleagues, friends and family, we gain the opportunity to share on the platform that gives us the highest merits of life. I am most cognizant of how fortunate we are because of Krishna's mercy, as he has arranged a bona fide spiritual master in this life for us, enabling our constant endeavor to return home to Godhead. Throughout my journey in cultivating and practicing Krishna consciousness, I strive to keep up sadhana while resisting the temptation and the constant struggle to keep up and be disciplined. But to understand not only all our challenges, but those of our children too. I remember coming to speak with you about quitting my job as an educator some time back, and you reminded me to always remember Arjuna in battle. How he fought because it was his duty, and how I need to follow that example. It was not something at all I wanted to hear. It was rather what I needed, and I followed your instructions. And I understand now what you meant, and I'm thankful. As my spiritual father, you have constantly engaged me and given me the strength I needed, spurred me on when the path was one of thorns, to realize that growth comes from struggles. What's even more remarkable is that, Gurudev, it is you who have been always attentive to my needs and requests. And what's more amazing is that you are able to give that same attentiveness to all your disciples. You know exactly what goes on in our minds, in our lives, and I'd like to share a little anecdote now with everyone. Some time ago, we had a yoga instructor who we were preaching to, and we had shared about Guru Maharaj at that time with her, and she was very keen to meet with him. And we'd known her for more than 6 months, close to a year, and we'd shared many of our experiences with her. And Guru Maharaj had spoken to her for 5 minutes in a Zoom call. And Gurudev had asked her, so how is your son? And how old is he? And that was the first time ever I had come to understand that she had a son. I had never known this before. So really, Guru Maharaj, you know what goes on in our lives, even though you don't tell us, so there's nothing that we can hide from you. To remember to always follow your instruction. I only bow down to you repeatedly again and again and pray to Krishna, then I can eternally serve you and always serve Prabhupada and Gauranga in that service to you. Our sincere prayers to Krishna and for your good health and protection.
We always been very detached by your love for all the fallen souls and with no qualification to receive your divine association. Yet you are always so merciful and approachable. We are so fortunate to get your darshan every day by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. This has enlightened my realization, and through it has improved my hearing and chanting. Thank you so much, Guru.
Thank you, Mandir. Next, Ramananda Rai Prabhu and Sachidula Prabhu from Singapore.
नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण-कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति विघ्नविनाशाय नरसिंहाय नामे। नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्ण-कृष्णाय भूतले श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी नामे। नमस्ते सरस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी भास्वते देशतारिणे। Hare Krishna, dearest Gurudev, please accept my humble obeisances at your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. I am very grateful to you for accepting me, this fallen soul as your disciple. If not for your mercy, one cannot dream of taking up the path of bhakti and engage in chanting, studying and distributing this knowledge to others in whatever capacity you can, even while struggling with sense control. Gurudev, if there's one thing I've learned this past year, is that we can fall prey to sense gratification, even though we may appear to be in devotional service. I apologize for my shortcomings and humbly request you to pardon me. Thank you once again, Gurudev, for all that you have provided me. I humbly request your good and kind self to forgive me for any offenses that I may have committed knowingly or unknowingly. Your eternal servant, Sachidula Das.
Narasimha Prabhu from Klang.
Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vignavinasa Narasimha Namine. Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi Paschatya Desatarini. Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and all glories to you, Maharaj. Srila Prabhupada has given us the highest perfection in the worship of Sri Radha Krishna. Even the great demigods cannot understand nor approach Lord Krishna. What chance do I have? But Srila Prabhupada has given us practical solutions for a practical world. If Lord Krishna's devotees are pleased, that would please Lord Krishna. So I am fortunate to have come in contact with such devotees who are so compassionate in nature, being guided by my Shiksha Guru, His Grace Ram Gopinath Prabhu, who gave me a glimpse into the process of devotional service and the pleasure of book distribution. Even Your Holiness have reassured me that eventually I'll get there. The perfection will take me many more births, and I hold on to your lotus feet that I might not slide into the greatest danger of missing out on the human form of existence. In a temporary and miserable world, you are Srila Prabhupada's shining beacon, illuminating all our lives with a servitude attitude to serve the devotees for the pleasure of Lord Krishna. I am truly enjoying every moment of this historical event in pure spiritual bliss. Thank you, my dearest Guru Maharaj, for your association, guidance, and constant encouragement. Have a wonderful Vyasa-puja. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. Next, Vyasa-puja from Melaka.
Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vignavinasa Narasimha Namine. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna-Prastaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine. Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pacharini Nirvisesa Sunyavadi. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to you on this auspicious day of your Vyasa-puja. I feel blessed that I had traveled and hosted Guru Maharaj at home. During these moments, I realized that Guru Maharaj keeps chanting most of the time. So this made me realize that every second need to be spent in servicing His Lordship, Sri Radha Krishna. So I personally feel that transformation and improvement in bhakti service whenever associated with Guru Maharaj, I'll keep improving. Thanks for all the guidance and blessing, Guru Maharaj. I beg to Lord Sri Narasimha, He keep you in good health always. Your humble servant, Rastat. All glory to Sri Prabhupada, all glory to Gurudev. Hari Bol.
Prabhu, we invite His Grace Dhamma Tulasi Prabhu from Senami.
Below Guru Maharaj, Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna-Balaram Gurudei, Srimati Swami Bhakti Vyasa-puja. Namah Vishnupadaya Krishna-Balaram Gurudei, Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Gramini, Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pucharini, Nirvishesha Trunivati Pasita Jayatarini. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare Hare. Panchakalpatarvyacha, Kripasindevacha, Patitanam Pavanyo, Vachniro Rama Rama Hare Krishna Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Guru and Gauranga. I consider myself very fortunate as you have entered my life and heart. I can never actually express to you how much I appreciate you that you give me and how much effort you put in and try to teach me. I can only try to serve you. Thank you for your advice for me and my wife, because your vision and your eye are spiritual. Please constantly blessing us with the association of devotees and opportunity to engage in devotional service. Please allow me to always take shelter of your lotus feet. Your humble servant Ram Tulsi Das and Sarvasan Mangala Saraswati Devi Das.
Thank you, Prabhu. Surya Nandini Mataji from Client.
Namaste, Saraswati Devi, Gauravani Pucharini, Nirvishesha Trunivati. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. Happy Vyasa-puja. All glories to Srila Prabhupada, all glories to Sri Guru and Gauranga. On this most auspicious day of your Vyasa-puja, please accept my humble obeisance at the dust of your lotus feet and forgive me for all my offenses. I'm so happy to have the chance to celebrate this holy day in your presence. I'm very fortunate to be your disciple and to have your most valuable association. Thank you for your inspiring lectures and making me who I am today. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank Guru Maharaj for accepting my late husband and me as your disciple. Thank you for your comforting words in the time of grief when my husband departed from this world. My prayers to Lord Narasimha, Sri Radha Madhava and Lord Gauranga to keep you with good health all the time. Hare Krishna, your humble servant Surya Nandini.
From Client.
Hare Krishna, Srila Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances.
All glories to Srila Prabhupada. All glories to Srila Guru Maharaj on your 74th glorious, auspicious Vyasa-puja. Today is an auspicious occasion with so many devotees coming in person and also live on Zoom, gathered here to remember and glorify Guru Maharaj. I too would like to offer my humble appreciation and gratitude to Guru Maharaj. The Supreme Lord has helped me find a bona fide Guru to guide me in understanding the goal of life. I pray to always inquire from Guru Maharaj submissively for spiritual knowledge. I'm so gifted and happy to be able to have the opportunity to have some personal association with Guru Maharaj by cooking lunch prasadam on a few occasions in this visit. It is said that the Guru is the external manifestation of the Super Soul. As Guru Maharaj was taking prasadam, I felt as if the Lord himself was there eating the preparation. I was trying to see how I could improve my preparations in terms of quality, proportions and varieties. I also shared some of the myriad family matters that loom in my life, and Guru Maharaj's sympathy, wisdom and insights provided me some respite from my suffering and provided me contemplation about the future. I was grateful for Guru Maharaj's valuable time. Guru Maharaj, you're always taking the humble position of a servant of Srila Prabhupada and emphasizing complete absorption in the hearing and chanting of the holy name for our spiritual advancement. Guru Maharaj also encouraged me to take up the Bhakti Shastri course, which I completed last year, and I was very privileged to have had Guru Maharaj as one of my teachers. Guru Maharaj so mercifully gave me a service that is close to my heart. As mentioned by His Grace Padmanayan Prabhu from Mayapur, that Guru Maharaj instructs devotees according to capacity. Thank you very much for blessing me with the service of engaging people to read and hear from the Bhagavad Gita. Guru Maharaj's clear explanations and elaboration of Srila Prabhupada's purports help me understand and share more deeply what I learned with others. I pray to be on credit at your lotus feet. Guru Maharaj has inspired me to help others make a spiritual connection to the Supreme Lord. Guru Maharaj will help me realize the importance of having full faith, respect and tolerance in developing pure bhakti in Krishna consciousness. They have helped me realize that the cultivation of the right service attitude includes not committing any offenses to the Lord and the devotees. Some time ago, I had asked a question on family relations on Zoom, and Guru Maharaj had asked a rhetorical question. Actually, the truth was in the answer, but it was difficult for me to accept it at that time. I realized that I was upset because I was not sufficiently surrendered to Guru Maharaj. I realized that I should prepare myself to be ready to accept Guru Maharaj's answers. Otherwise, I would be wasting Guru Maharaj's time by asking such questions. I should learn to depend more on the mercy of Guru Maharaj. Guru Maharaj's answer made me realize that I can make spiritual progress and have peaceful relations with everyone at home if I don't let my false ego get in the way. In work, personal and health matters, they have guided me that everything is an arrangement of Lord Krishna for my own purification, which is Lord Krishna's way of protecting the devotee from further material entanglement. Thank you, Guru Maharaj, for always reminding us that we should chant with the pleasure of the Lord, and that chanting destroys all sinful reactions. Although I am an unworthy, insignificant disciple, you have taken me into your costless loving spiritual care. My eternal gratitude is to Guru Maharaj. I pray to be worthy of your affections and mercy. I pray to the Lordship for Guru Maharaj's good health and safe preaching in your travels. And please forgive me, Guru Maharaj, for any mistakes and offenses. Your insignificant, unworthy, humble servant, Sri Devi Gaura.
Thank you, Mandir. We would like to now request His Grace Govinda Gaura Prabhu to the rostrum to offer his speech.
Namo Krishna-Balaram Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vikna Vinashana Sri Maharaj iti namine. Sometimes, first of all, I would like to fall at the feet of all the disciples of His Holiness Narasimha Maharaj for organizing this wonderful event. People quite often ask me, actually you are the disciple of Maharaj or Narasimha Maharaj. Melaka Maharaj or Narasimha Maharaj, what's the difference? What's the problem? So, Maharaj has been preaching in Malaysia since 1998. Maharaj has functioned as a savior and also a troubleshooter for many crises, not only in Malaysia, all over the world. மலேசியாவிலும் உலகத்திலையும் எங்கெங்கெல்லாம் பிரச்சனை இருந்துச்சோ அங்கெல்லாம் போய் இறங்கி வந்து அவர் பல இடத்தை காப்பாற்றிருக்கிறாரு, பல பக்தர்களுக்கு ஊக்குவிப்பா இருந்திருக்காரு. For example, I am recalling our experience in Bhakti Mandir, the center which was invaded by Ritviks in 1999. 1999 பக்தி மந்திர்ல ரித்விக் வந்து பிடிச்சிருக்கும் போது நிச்சயமா நமது குரு மகாராஜரும் எல்லாரும் வந்து அவரை துரத்துனாங்க. துரத்துனது பிரச்சனை இல்லை, 6 பிரம்மச்சாரி ஃபுல் டைமா அந்த கோயில வச்சு நடத்திக்கிட்டு இருந்தாங்க. அது பிறகு யார் நடத்துறது? மகாராஜ் வந்து 3 மாசம் எங்களோட தங்கி எங்களை வந்து ட்ரெயின் பண்ணி அந்த சென்டரை தொடர்ந்து நடத்துறதுக்கு எங்களுக்கு உதவி செஞ்சாங்க. திடீர்னு திரு தமல் கிருஷ்ண கோஸ்வாமி மகாராஜ் மறைஞ்ச உடனே சைனாவுக்கு போய், அது ஒரு சாதாரண விஷயம் இல்லை, அங்கெல்லாம் மகாராஜ் எவ்வளோ பாடுபட்டு எவ்வளோ விஷயம் செஞ்சாங்க. ஸோ இதெல்லாம் வார்த்தையால சொல்ல, அவர் வந்து ஒரு எடுத்துக்காட்டு பக்தர்களுக்கு, நல்ல எடுத்துக்காட்டு, exemplary devotee for everyone. Thank you very much, Maharaj, for your guidance, your assistance. So they asked me to stop. Oh, okay, sorry. I thought they asked me to stop. So they want to hear in English as well. Let me share. In Bhakti Mandir when the center, of course, my Guru Maharaj and devotees came and chased the Ritviks away. But after that, the temple was run by 6 full-time brahmacharis, with Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and Gaurnitai being the presiding deities. We were just freshly initiated and we knew nothing about it. And it was our Maharaj stayed with us for 3 months. And sannyasis, they don't stay long, but according to Prabhupada's instruction, in emergency, anything can be done. So following the footsteps of his Guru Maharaj stayed with us for 3 months in Bhakti Mandir with us. And we didn't have any money. This same time, Thaipusam festival came. Was the thought of raising some money and boga on behalf of this Thaipusam. So we brought Maharaj along, and Maharaj went to many Chinese shops to ask for boga. And Maharaj was speaking Mandarin and we couldn't understand anything except one word, Thaipusam. அது மட்டும் தான் எங்களுக்கு இடம் இருந்துச்சு, அவர் பேசி எல்லாம் வாங்கிட்டார். So, thank you very much, Maharaj. And we are happy that our elder son has taken shelter from Maharaj. He said, sold animal to you, Maharaj. If possible, get the other boy also. So, the Malaysian Yatra, always remember your contribution, your sacrifice, your motivation. You are a scholar, spiritual scholar. And all of us should benefit from Maharaj's instruction and his scholarship. So thank you very much for allowing me to speak. His Holiness Bhakti Narasimha Maharaj ki
Jai. Thank you so much, Prabhu. Thank you so much. We have one last offering from our well-known His Grace Gogo Damodar Das Prabhu. After Prabhu's offering, I would like to say a few words about Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, please accept my respectful obeisances, all the Shri Prabhupada and Guru Maharaj. All glories to your most auspicious Vyasa-puja celebration. I would like to share some of my traveling experience with your holiness. In the year 2004, during the tsunami incident, we were planning to do food for life for the tsunami victims at Phuket. I got a chance to travel with Simeshwara Prabhu, Gunanidhi Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu and Vidyabhushan Prabhu from here to Phuket. It took about 17 hours drive. His Holiness joined us from Bangkok to Phuket. Then we stayed in the local Nepali temple. At that time there were no devotees and ISKCON temple in Phuket. So the Nepali people allowed us to stay there and they provided us the cooking utensils. The temple was so small and the bathroom was very dirty. And His Holiness immediately took a brush and soap powder to clean the toilets. And we were ashamed and that we should have volunteered to do that, so we immediately assisted Maharaj. We see that the pure devotee lead us by example. We learn from Maharaj on the quality and humility. During our stay there in Phuket, Maharaj guided us with morning sadhana. He delivered Srimad Bhagavatam classes daily and taught us yoga. Daily for 2 weeks, after having our breakfast, we cooked for 600 packs of prasadam and we drove to Kola Beach. That's a place most number of people died and lost their families. Maharaj helped us with the preparation such as cutting vegetables, distributing the meals, and we gave Krishna Prasadam to all the victims. At the same time, other NGOs also distributed food at the victims' camp. But we were the only ones that were distributing Krishna Prasadam. Right after the distribution of Prasadam, Maharaj used to do kirtan, singing the holy names. And this made the kids happy and others relief from the pain that they are going through. To forget the sufferings by listening the holy names, and the kids were dancing and chanting with Maharaj. So this went on for about 2 weeks, and today in Phuket there's an ISKCON temple and many Diksha devotees because of a Pure Devotees Association. After doing some service in Phuket, we drove back to KL to set up the Thaipusam festival booth. Maharaj also followed us to KL. At the time, Uttama Chaitanya Prabhu was the KL temple president, was in Vrindavan for a year, and Siva Chaitanya Prabhu became the acting temple president. So he was taking charge of the Thaipusam booth at Bathikave. Every year we will park our van at Divine Life Society beside Bathikave temple, and we stayed in the van and take bath in the ashram public toilets because we do book marathon during the Thaipusam festival. Maharaj also wanted to follow us, but we said to Maharaj, the facilities won't be good enough for you, Maharaj. And Maharaj told us not to worry about the facilities. I just want to join you all. So Maharaj followed us and stayed with us for 3 days in Bathikave, and I distributed the most number of Bhagavad Gitas, more than 120 Gitas. So Maharaj was the top distributor among us during the Thaipusam festival. Sometimes Maharaj take little nap in the booth itself, honors devotees prasadam, as it's not special preparation for Maharaj like we usually do. So Srila Prabhupada said, simple living, high thinking, and Maharaj shows by example. We really are inspired by Maharaj. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's teachings that chanting is our foundation and important anga for devotional service. As everyone is aware that His Holiness is very attached to the holy names, each and every syllable Maharaj chants intensely and loud that we hear it very clearly. During our Bhakti Sastri course in Mayapur in the year 2017, Maharaj was one of our teachers. Maharaj's attachment to Srila Prabhupada is very strong. In every lecture, Maharaj gives wonderful and practical examples of Srila Prabhupada. It made us feel more connected to Srila Prabhupada. By Maharaj being exemplary with his actions and words, His Holiness' simplicity and purity inspired many devotees, including me. I personally beg for Your Holiness' mercy so that I can have a taste in chanting the holy name and serve the Vaishnavas in humble mode. Your humble servant, Gokul Damodar Das.
Thank you, Gokul Prabhu. Gokul Prabhu has been very instrumental. This is special mention for Gokul Prabhu. He's been very instrumental in attending to all our requests and needs in serving Guru Maharaj while Guru Maharaj stays in here. So thank you, Gokul Prabhu. We will now move to the next segment. So this time it will be an offering from all around the world. It will be a video presentation. It will be a video presentation. We will start from a video from China, sent in by Sumati Rai Prabhu. I think I will just mention all the videos in a row and you can watch it without interruption. First will be China video, Sumati Rai Prabhu. And next is a Russian video from Ajidar Prabhu. Number 3 from Middle East, sent in by Nandakishore Prabhu. Number 4, India video from India, sent in by Jaya Nayak Prabhu. And Krishna Kirtan Prabhu. And finally, video from Thailand. It will be a live.
去月日拆开呀！天主会是的，让我们完全的臣服在您的莲花足下，尽快得到所欲的成果。对，会是的，会是的，会
Krishna， 亲爱的各位，您好，我是来自武汉的翁高尔贝克大师，请接受我卑微的礼拜。在这个吉祥的Vyasa-puja的日子里，请允许我祝您生日快乐，寿比南山，身体健康，传教顺利。这是我今天早上特意为您做的草莓生日蛋糕，供奉给诸位。Hare Krishna，
Hare Krishna，
Hare Krishna， 同在亲爱的诸位。我们最敬爱的灵性父亲，在这吉祥的日子里，我和的贾央义跟大喜，祝您生日快乐，身体健康，传教顺利。我们爱您，想念您，感恩您。Hare Krishna。
亲爱的诸位，我是武汉市的吴秀红，祝你生日快乐，吉祥安康，传教顺利，敬拜您的莲花主Hare Krishna。
Hare Krishna，
Hare Krishna， Krishna Krishna， Hare Hare， Hare Rama， Hare Rama， Rama Rama， Hare Hare， Hare Krishna， Hare Krishna， Krishna Krishna， Hare Hare， Hare Rama， Hare Rama， Rama Rama， Hare Hare， Hare Krishna， Hare Krishna， Krishna Krishna， Hare Hare， Hare Rama， Hare Rama， Rama Rama， Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna， 我最亲爱的BVV Narasimha Maharaj， 请接受我在您莲花足下尘土中最卑微的礼拜，所有荣耀归于圣帕帕的 亲爱的顾在，我们怀着基督的心情，盼来年的Vyasa-puja，所有荣耀归于圣帕的及使徒传系的灵性导师们，所有荣耀归于您 Gurudeva。亲爱的Gurudev，您是研读经典的好榜样，在跟您一同旅行的路途中，我们总是看到您一有空就会手捧经典，认真的阅读。你不仅经常教导我们阅读圣帕的书，而且您自己更是分秒必争的阅读圣帕的书籍。您说您已经读佛家法有50多年了。
Hare Krishna， 顶拜亲爱的部队。你少力，你甲，你大喜，祝亲爱的部队生日快乐，身体健康，传教顺利。Hare Krishna。
亲爱的古鲁马拉居，唐鲁米布亚向您顶拜，好久不见了，祝您生日快乐！在这个特别的日子里，我终于可以开心大声的向您宣布一个好消息。原本不会派书的我，终于派出国家梵歌了。
亲爱的古鲁马拉居，我是从哪里来的大西？请在这里向您献上我们虔诚的礼拜。观察卡帕达古亚恰，会帕西杜古亚帕恰，卡里卡南卡王内迪欧，卡什纳迪欧，南无南无哈，Hare Krishna。过几天就是您的喜生日了，
We are sorry to interrupt. There is an announcement that whoever have parked your car at the parking area of the market, you need to remove your cars now, like immediately now. So please remove your cars from the market's parking.
今天就是说我们对你的一个祝福，非常感恩你，因为有我们的指导，我们的灵体进来，然后也很期待能够早一点，能够看到你也算。
希望你们继续的指导我，让我们的国际上面的文化
认识的海洋，不知那苦海无边众生，穿过着那超人的秩序，海洋到时
Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, dear Guru Maharaj. We accept our humble obeisances and heartfelt congratulations on the special auspicious date of your Vyasa-puja. We have no words to express our gratitude to our dear spiritual master, who opened the road to Krishna for us. And we were even so happy that our spiritual path led us in Krishna-Balaram. But it was only by your mercy that the Holy Dharma was revealed to us, and Lord Gauranga accepted us here. And since then, our stay in Mayapur has been inseparably linked and all the realization of the living here come to us only by the mercy of our dear spiritual master.
Please accept our humble obeisances, all glory to Srila Prabhupada. By your mercy and by your mercy of Srila Prabhupada, we have the opportunity to go to Harinam. Please accept our congratulations with your Vyasa-puja. Bhakti-Vinay Narasimha Maharaj ki Srila Prabhupada ki Haribol.
Happiness is not to be found here. We are all locked up here, and only a pure devotee can save us. Burning, suffering the whole planet. The soul removes in samsara, but we have one source of light. The knowledge that the good conveyed. By your mercy and mercy of the Vaishnavas, I offer my service in 2022 to you. 820 books by Srila Prabhupada were distributed. 80 Harinamas, 50 flower gardens, 20 Bhakti Vriksha programs, participated in 3 brahmas in the temple. Thank you, dear Guru Maharaj.
Sadavo Hridayam Mahyam, Shri Krishna says, Vaishnavas are in my heart, and I am in the heart of Vaishnava. Spiritual masters carries in his heart Krishna and instructions of previous acharyas. I don't know Srila Prabhupada and Krishna, but you, Guru Maharaj, know them. Seeing your example of uninterrupted devotional service, I pray to become qualified to distribute this transcendental knowledge to others filled with your compassion. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Jai Shri.
Please accept my humble obeisances. Thank you very much for your care, your mercy, for transcendental knowledge that you generously bestow upon us. Hare Krishna.
His Holiness Bhakti-Vinay Narasimha Maharaj ki Jai, Prabhupada Jagat Guru ki Jai, Gaura Premanande Hare Krishna.
Mandir is a conscious is a perfect you. He is aware of everyone's happiness and distress by his own personal experience. The cause of the distress of a living entity is untruthfulness of his relationship with God. And the cause of happiness is knowing He, who is the supreme enjoyer of all the activities of the human being, the proprietor of all lands and planets, and the synthesis of all living entities. Bhagavan treated as it is, I reward and completed with everyone.
Text 34.
Please always keep me in your shelter, Maharaj. Maharaj ki
Dear Maharaj, please be merciful on us. There is no one except you who can purify the fallen souls. In every word. Please consider me. Srila Prabhupada ki.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I accept my humble obeisances to your lotus feet. All glories to you, all glories to Srila Prabhupada. I'm very grateful, thankful, and getting this opportunity to participate in your Vyasa-puja, Maharaj. Thank you for your unconditional mercy and love. We certainly don't deserve it. You're very kind, merciful upon us. Last year was the best year for us because we were fortunate to get many more of your association. You stayed here in the November, and practically every day was in Shravan and Kirtan, and all the divisions were additional to association. They always keep talking about it. So your association is the greatest gift that Lord has given us. Maharaj, and always keep us your shelter. Be very protected, very safe, and always feel very much confident that we will move forward to Prabhupada's instruction and your association. Thank you very much, Maharaj, and we are waiting for your next visit. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Pranam, Happy Vyasa-puja Maharaj. คิดถึงทุกคนคิดถึง Guru Maharaj นะคะ Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Namaste, Pranam. Happy Vyasa-puja. We miss you, Guru Maharaj.
Hare Krishna, Gurudev. Please accept my humble obeisances unto your lotus feet. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Very happy Vyasa-puja, Gurudev. And thank you so much for accepting me as a disciple. And we miss you so much. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Srila Gurudev.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj, Happy Vyasa-puja. Thank you so much, Guru Maharaj, for accepting me as your disciple. Hare Krishna. Please.
Hare Krishna, Guru Maharaj. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Happy Vyasa-puja to you, Guru Maharaj. Thank you for accepting me as your disciple. Looking forward to have your darshans.
Thank you to all video offerings from all around the world. Okay, we are moving to the next segment. For this, we are inviting His Grace Padmanaya Prabhu to the rose drum to give a briefing or to set the context for the program from this point onwards in terms of the Vyasa-puja ceremony. So, welcome, Prabhu.
Hare Krishna. So from now on, we will try to follow the official Vyasa-puja parade that have been instructed us to do on behalf of the British body. So as we know, spiritual master is the representative of Krishna, and we need to offer our worship to Him. It is starting from Nityananda Prabhu. We see the pastime of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, especially when Srimad Nityananda Prabhu he came to meet with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. First time he was staying in the house of Nandanacharya. So in Nandanacharya Bhavan, Nityananda Prabhu was hiding, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu he greeted him. And then finally, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu brought Nityananda Prabhu to the house of Srivas Thakur, where we have seen in Srivas Thakur's house, Nityananda Prabhu he also offered this Vyasa-puja. So in that way, now Gurudev is going to offer prasadam to Prabhupada. The prasadam which is here already offered to the deities upstairs. And now, after Gurudev offers prasadam to Prabhupada, then he will be offering arati to Prabhupada. And then, after that, we will invite Guru Maharaj to sit on the Vyasa because he is representing Vyasadev. According to our Genesis instruction, on one day, this is on the appearance day of our beloved spiritual master. We are the disciples. We can officially offer our puja to Srila Guru Maharaj. So in that way, now let us chant this Hare Krishna Mahamantra when Guru Maharaj is making the offering, and then after that, when Guru Maharaj will be offering arati, at that time we can chant some Sarvadharana prayers. So So now I will request devotee to start singing Hare Krishna Mahamantra while I hold the Dharma.
Hare Rama, Rama Rama. Krishna Prabhupada ki Narasimha Maharaj ki Maharaj 74th Vyasa-puja Mahotsav ki Krishna, Krishna, Krishna,
His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. ISKCON founder Acharya Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Nitya Lila Pravisham Vishnupad Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Ananta Koti Vaishnavinda ki Jai. Mama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur ki Jai. Prem Shri Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaur Bhaktavinda ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Shyam Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan ki Vrindavan Dham ki Mayapur Dham ki Ganga Mai ki Yamuna Mai ki Tulsi Maharani ki Bhakti Devi ki Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan ki. Oh, glories to assembled devotees. Oh, glories assembled devotees. Oh, glories assembled devotees. Oh, glories to Sri Guru, Sri Gauranga. Oh, glories to Srila Prabhupada.
We will do the Pushpanjali simultaneously. Om Ajnana Nirvandasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Umilikam Dena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manavishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Nagamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamsha Shri Rupam Sagrajadam Savagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakam Vidamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namine Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharine Nirvisesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Iti Namine Shri Varshavanavi Devi Daityaya Upadhye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Daine Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Jwala Premadya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida
Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Vinudapa Siddhanta Dvantaharini Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralamba Rasambode Padam Bhujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Satchitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Vinayate Gaura Virbhava Krishna Nirdeshta Sajjana Priya Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannatha Iti Namaha Panchakalpa Arujascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Krishna-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vigna Vinasha Narasimha iti namine Esha Pushpanjali.
Okay. Put at the leg. Put at the leg. And then we go three times. Nama Om Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vigna Vinasha Narasimha iti namine Esha Pushpanjali. Okay. What's your offer? I think we just do it three times and then we can all go together. I think. Nama Om Vishnu-Padaya Krishna-Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti-Vigna Vinasha Narasimha iti namine Esha Pushpanjali. So once you have offered the flowers three times, then you can leave and let those from the back come in front. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna
Okay.